So I just painted a BF109 model, just completely white. Just do a white base coat. I did it with a Vallejo white primer. I could not find Tamiya. I normally use Tamiya, but Vallejo worked for me. And so after this, I'm going to be sanding all the spots that I think need to be sanded, such as right here where I did a bit of paint, where the paint messed up or accidentally touched it right there, and definitely right here. On the tail with this, I'm going to be buffing that out, either with like a buffer wheel, such as this, attached to a Dremel, or just by hand. Get it all nice and smooth and go over it with the second coat. Then I can start, I guess, painting it cartoon. Okay, so this, which you probably saw, is about maybe just about roughly a minute clip. This took me about an hour to get done. So, and I liked the way the canopy turned out. Like, I actually didn't think it would look as good as it did. And these tiny marks right here on the, let me get a toothpick, I feel like so my hand's not just kind of there. But these tiny marks where that toothpick is pointing, I think, in my opinion, they give it more detail than just sort of like a, like a blank white face with some lines around it. It doesn't look as detailed. And also, like right here, if you mess up the lines, it's okay. You know, your lines aren't going to look perfect, and I think it gives it, in my opinion, more character when the lines aren't completely perfect, because, you know, it's supposed to look kind of cartoonish. And, you know, I don't know, I think this has turned out pretty well so far. So, you know, I obviously worked at this. You know, I didn't want to have a time lapse of the whole thing, because I imagine that that's pretty boring. But but I did the other side, and I did the same thing with these marks, and on both sides, I tried to make them not repeat, but yet look similar, so it has a good feel to it. I did the guns here, and I did the prop. The prop turned out it turned out mediocre in my opinion. It could have turned out better. And then I started on the underside there, just because, you know, I felt like it would finish up better. But what I'm going to do now is I'm probably going to take it and I'm probably going to go the back way, loop around, just finish up the tail, then come under here and just cover all the underside of the wings there. And that should ideally be done. And then I'm going to put probably a semi-gloss coat on this, you know, just like a very light, nothing too intense on it. But we'll see where we end up once it's done. As of right now, I have painted this, and I decided that it would just look odd without these seam lines down the middle here on both the top and the other side, and I think it turned out well with these seam lines, of course. You know, with the little specks, just add detail there. The tail turned out okay. Like, I could say it turned out a little better there, but I think it turned out okay with the. So now the only thing left is the underside and the landing gears, of course. I mean, I already painted the wheels. I took the liberty to do that. And, you know, so hopefully this will look good, you know, as we're reaching the final stretch here. As I finished the lower half of the plane, I now plan to move on to do a semi-gloss coat with with mission models, semi-gloss. And what I found, at least what I have found, is that for every 2.5 milliliters, you do five drops of Tamiya's paint thinner, which tends to work best for me. So now I shall be doing that. Now that I've sprayed it with several semi-gloss coats, it's a finished model. It doesn't change it very much visually, but if I drop it or hit it on something while moving it, it won't scuff up the paint job, which I quite like. All right, here it is.